All right, this is Floyd Williams here with my buddy, best friend Rodney Epps. Today, we're glad you have a chance to hear this incredible training that we have been doing for many, many years. Guys, this training has made me a fortune, millions of dollars. It's called Running the Bases. A simple system, guys, for building a duplicatable and a productive organization of a large size. And so we're excited about this, Rodney. It's going to be a great training, and we're excited about sharing this information. You know, a lot of top networkers have systems and tools that they want to keep a secret, because they don't want other people to know what they're really doing. But I believe that it's about full disclosure, about sharing with people what we do that has made the difference. Would you not agree?
Absolutely, Floyd. You got to look at that word system. It says saving yourself time, energy, and money.
Yes, sir.
Most people go out there and it's like a shotgun effect.
Yes.
They just go out there and just do anything and wonder why they don't have been successful, because they have no system in place.
That's it.
But if you have a system for getting to first base and second and third and sliding in home and scoring, it's incredible. And what I love about our industry, Floyd, you can take as many swings at the bat that you wish to do. Mm-hmm. It's not just 1, 2, 3, you're out. Guess what? You're never out until you quit trying to hit that home run. So that's what I love about this, Floyd. Running the bases, a system long overdue for share with the team.
Yes, and you talked about systems, guys, Rodney, and we want to do training and use systems that are duplicatable, and that's why we use the vernacular of a baseball diamond, because, guys, that's America's greatest pastime, baseball, and everyone can relate to baseball, running the bases, and that's why we use that as an icon, so you actually can stay on track and stay on top of your business by using that basic system of first, second, third, and home. You guys, so let's talk a little bit about running the bases, and we're going to be using, like I said, baseball jargon and terminology, so you can actually remember how to go through the steps of exposure when you're exposing your prospects to the business. And first of all, I want to start off with talk about scouting for talent, because you know what? That's really where it starts, guys. We're not even talking about being on first and second and third and then home before we talk about scouting. And everyone who joins a direct sales organization, Rodney, has to be a scout, a talent scout. We have to go out there and look for the best talent. Think about that. Any baseball team in the major leagues or minor leagues are looking for talent to be able to surround the organization with. So the question is, who's in your lineup? I think that's the question, guys. Think about that. Who's in your lineup? When you look in the dugout, there's a whole lot of folks there in the dugout, and you can look at that dugout, and what you're looking for is your talent with that roster. So we're going to talk about building your list of hitters. Everyone gets a hit. And I like what you said, Ronnie. You talked about, you're never out of the game. You can always keep swinging. And I think it was Hank Aaron who says, look, if you get 3 hits out of 10, your name is Mr. Millionaire, because 3 hits out of 10 is spectacular in baseball. And so the same applies to the numbers game, doing the numbers. 3 out of 10 would be great in your business as well. So let's talk about your lineup. Guys, in a list, it's all about making a list and building a list of hitters, people that you're going to expose to the business. And first of all, I want to look at that, most people's list. In the list, you can have 3 categories. One is heavy hitters, Rodney. And those guys are the guys who have been in network marketing. They've done incredible. Some have made an income of 6 figures and some even 7 figures. And you have folks out there trying to swing and get those people to swing at their opportunity. But I tell you what, that's a hard recruit, because those folks have they have expectations. Some actually come in an opportunity and they're looking for some sort of compensation before they even do anything. They have egos, and so guys, if you're an individual who just starting in network marketing or really hadn't had a whole lot of success, you're probably not going to be able to get a heavy hitter straight out the gate. Would you agree with that, Rodney?
I agree with you, Floyd. We did one of the trainings that most people love to hear is the building a list. People say making a list, but we say really is building a list.
Yes.
And on that list, Floyd has 4 group have A, B, C, and D, you know, but the D list is the dead list. But and I love this right here, the scouting, because we're trying to share with people how to go to the A and B list. This is where you make your money from, you know. So understanding who's your heavy hitter and the seasoned veteran and the rookie, it make all the difference in the world. If you understand, we call it an avatar in the digital marketing world, is your avatar, you know, who should I be targeting in order to build my list? If you're targeting the wrong person, guess what? You will get a lot of no's.
Yes.
A lot of no's. And you may get a yes, but they end up quitting on you. Why? Because you didn't have the heavy hitters in front of you or the seasoned or the rookies in front of you. But if you know where to go at, Floyd, guess what? You get more yeses and your organization begin to grow twice as fast.
Well, you call that high payoff activities, Rodney, and that's really what we do when we talk about building your list, because this is your raw resources. This is where you're going to actually build your organization with the folks on your list as you build it. And like I said, some of you might have heavy hitters, but you don't have to really worry and spend a whole lot of time with heavy hitters. Heavy hitters usually recruit other heavy hitters. So if you're not a heavy hitter, don't spend a whole lot of time trying to coerce and drag people, because most of the time, Rodney, heavy hitters are going to be recruited by their peers who are heavy hitters as well. And then we've got seasoned veterans. Some may say that those are people who are in the NFL club.
Yeah.
People have been around for a long, long time, no friends left. But you know what? That's not true. We're going to talk a little bit about that. People always have other folks that they know who might be interested in the opportunity, that if it has some value and merit. And then you have rookies, guys. Those are the folks who have never been in network marketing before. I like those folks, Rodney. I really like them, because you can take a rookie and a rookie can be developed into a heavy hitter. Would you not agree?
Absolutely. But you know why, Flo? Because they got all the characteristics. You know, maybe, you know, they have read something about the industry, or maybe they've gone through some tough times and they need some income, or maybe they just got laid off, but guess what? They have a desire in order to reach for their goals or start a business. So I love those individuals. Matter of fact, a lot of the rookies can be real estate agents,
yes,
you know, or they could be
insurance agents.
Yeah, insurance agents. They already work for themselves on a commission, right? So you can help develop those individuals. I like them really. Why? Because I can groom them the way I need them in order to take that business to the next level. A lot of times when you're dealing with the seasoned veterans, you talk about, we call them what that course you were talking about starting one day, a rehab.
Yeah, network marketing junkies or network marketing rehab guys. Yeah, that's
you know. So again, Floyd, I love the rookies, because you can go so far, you can go a long distance with them, because they're extremely coachable and they're hungry for success.
Absolutely. And guys, so we're talking about who's in your lineup, guys, and that's really very important to know who's in your lineup as you build your list. One thing we definitely you got to understand when we actually talk about your lineup, you have to have a big list, Rodney, because it's a numbers game. A lot of people don't understand that. They might think that you're so successful, right, because you're smarter or you're more experienced, but you really understand and you respect the law of numbers. It's about big numbers, guys. And so when you start building your list, guys, don't just think about the few people that you might have in your phone. Let's just expand it. We always say make a list of 100 names. It doesn't have to be a list on a piece of paper. It could be people in your phone. It could be people on your Facebook page, right? It could be, of course, people in your warm market. But what about LinkedIn? And what about referrals? Man, that's one thing that people don't do. They don't ask for referrals, Rodney, enough. Network marketing functions, or networking functions, that is. What about getting out and seeing the people and really building new relationships? Trade shows and booths that you can have at trade shows and associations. All these things are things that you do. As you said, Rodney, you don't make a list, you build a list. That suggests that it's a perpetual thing. You got to continue to add people to the list. Would you agree with that, Rodney?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, Ford. And also, you got to know where to put those individuals at.
Yes.
Because some of those people on that list may be on the customer list.
Wow.
And they're good. Think about it. I was talking to someone the other day, Floyd, and we was talking, and I realized they don't like the industry. But guess what? They love health and wellness. They want to get health there. Maybe they're dealing with a health challenge. Guess what? I can put that person on my C list because they're customers, right? Yeah. And then I find those individuals who love the industry. I can put them on my A and B list. So if you know where to put them at, you know exactly what to do. A perfect example. I was talking with a lady the other day, Floyd, and she was talking to one of the guys on the team, and the guy was trying to convince her to get in the industry and buy the product. And she said, "No, I'm just not interested. I'm not interested." Mm-hmm. But she kept talking to him, right, and talking to me. And I said, "Hold on now." I said, "Let's talk about this right here." I said, "Do you like health and wellness products?" "Oh, yes." She said, "I have a cabinet full of products," right? I said, "So you believe in taking products in order to get better and stay well. Absolutely. And I said, but so what's holding you back? Well, you guys trying to get me to sign up. Guess what? We was trying to put on the wrong list.
Right.
So we need to put on the C list, the customer list.
That's really
so when you understand that, guess what? Your organization grow a lot faster.
That's right. Don't try to make an acorn tree, guys.
I love that.
You know, one thing that we talk about, making a bid list, and Rodney, a lot of people will say to you and me, well, guys, you should have success because you're Rodney Epps or you're Floyd Williams. You've been in business for a long, long time. It doesn't matter, Rodney, that we've been in business for a long, long time in the industry. It matters about how we build our list and how big we make it. Rodney, I know you go on Facebook and you find people on Facebook.
Yes.
I do too. I do almost every other night. I'm on Facebook, scouring Facebook, trying to find some folks that I could actually contact with or connect with in Facebook. LinkedIn, I do that too, Rodney. Rodney, have you ever worked a trade show and worked the booth and got leads?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That really Floyd. It's really good for getting customers, you know. Really good. I mean, man, you have a plethora of customers you're getting every single event. But you know what's cool about it, Floyd? I love going to those shows because I find a person who's willing to try the product. They become my customer. That customer become a fan of the product. That fan say, you know something, I want to see I can earn this for free or I'll make extra money. Then they become a distributor, and that distributor become a heavy hitter.
Yes, sir.
You know, but it was a process. It was an organic process.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't go to that. When I go to that show, I didn't go to that show trying to turn them into an automatic distributor. Guess what? It was a slow walk. I was building a relationship with them.
Right.
So keep in mind, every list you got the family, friends, and co-workers that you want to develop to be a part of your industry or the business that you're part of.
Yeah, and I know, Rodney, you recently left, the East Coast and went out to Texas, and you didn't know anyone out there when you first got there. You talked to me about how you didn't know anybody. It's a little small town, and boy, most people say, man, you're successful because you're in this big town, but you're in a small town, and you told me that you went to networking functions. You had to go out there and you had to expand your market and start getting out of your comfort zone and meet strangers and talk to people and cultivate your relationships with new people. And that, guess what? Those new cold market contacts became what? Warm market contacts.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. It was a process, in Florida. If I didn't know this from years of my experience in the industry and also in sales, I would have failed.
Yes.
Because most people go out and they're trying to make that cold market a hot market from day one. They look at them as though they're a bag of groceries or a bill. So I got to know that person. I got to ask about, what do they do? How long you been doing, what got you in that industry? And there's the magic. Something happened, Floyd. If sooner or later ask me, what do you do?
Right. And sometimes, right, it took weeks, right?
Yeah.
Maybe months.
Yeah. Floyd, let me tell you about a good friend of mine who was a friend, but he passed. He was a good friend of mine by the name of Charles. And Charles was, I'd never forget this. We were on 285, and he was riding, and on the side of his truck, he was advertising the company he was with. It was a home-based business company. And I called that number, right? And we started talking. I said, hey, man, tell me about what your product. He would start telling me what the product had and what it can do. And we talk, and it was funny. It was like a good 10-minute ride. And then I said, hey, we need to get together. He said, yeah, let's do it. He said, where are you at now? I said, I'm on 285. He said, I'm on 285. He said, what about? I said, by the stadium, Brave Stadium. I think it was 20.
Yeah.
He said, Brave Stadium. I said, that's where I'm at. He turned around and we were waving, we were laughing. He said, pull over. We pulled into the McDonald's parking lot, and I just asked him question after question. Hey, how you doing? How did you get into the industry? How you doing? Tell me about your team. What type of tools you use? What's your team name? And man, we became really good friends. Now, he didn't join with me, Floyd. He didn't join with me right away. But guess what? I say about 18 months or 2 years later, he ended up joining with me in the business and went on to build a nice organization. Right. But guess what? It was a relationship that was cultivated over 2 years. And that's something that I understood that took me to the next level. So people don't understand when they say, oh, you came over with a big a team already. No, I didn't. No. I built a relationship, but here's the question, Floyd. Is it wrong for me to go after my friends that I built a relationship with 2 years ago? Warm market? No. So guess what? Everybody start off in the same spot.
Same place.
Knowing anyone.
Well, Rodney, we're talking about running the bases, but we can't even start running the bases until we talk about scouting for talent. And that's what I think what we're trying to say, Rodney, is that sometimes it takes you, you don't have any excuse to say, I don't know anybody, because you can cultivate new relationships. Yes. You can go to networking functions, right? I go to network functions. I sit down with strangers that I hadn't met before. And as you said, sometimes it takes weeks and months to cultivate relationships so you can actually take that person from a cold market to a warm market. Trade shows, man, I've worked a whole lot of trade shows and got leads, Rodney, and came back and worked those leads and start turning those people into customers and a few into business partners. So, guys, it's not easy. It's not easy for anybody to come into a company and say, look, I'm going to come in there, I'm going to build, and I'm just going to start calling all my friends and everybody's going to jump in with me. It doesn't work that way, Rodney. You've got to build a list, right? You have to build a list. So, guys, first of all, before we go start throwing the pitch, we got to build a list. So let's talk about that. Now we got our list, we got our people in the dugout, and we get ready to start running. We got the people that we're going to pitch to, so we can start getting hits, the people that we're going to pitch to. So let's talk about throwing the pitch, guys. You know, when we talk about this whole concept of you being a pitcher on the mound, on the pitcher's mound, that's really what you want to think about yourself being as a person who is actually giving people information to expose them to your business. Now, when I grew up, Ronnie, playing Little League Baseball, my coach used to be a pitcher for us. You know, he would teach us how to pitch. So he would get on the mound and he would pitch to us. So you got to be a pitcher coach. You want your batter to hit this ball because you're the pitcher coach and you're throwing the pitch so the batter can hit the ball. And the ball is whatever you send down the plate. It could be a video, it could be an audio, it could be all those things, and you are throwing that pitch. Now here's the thing, guys. Always remember, nothing happens until you, as the pitcher coach, throws the first pitch. I mean, guys, you can get involved in the business and you can sit there and you can read the manual and you can look at your website, but nothing's going to really happen until you take that ball, you throw that ball down the plate, because that's really who initiates the game, right? That's when the umpire says, play ball, and everybody starts, doing what they do. Guys, think about this. Every good pitcher has more than one pitch in their repertoire, right? It's not just one straight fastball, Rodney. It's a multitude of pitches in their repertoire, and you've got to have different pitches. What I mean by that is that you've got to have different tools and steps of exposure that you give people, because everybody doesn't think the same. Everybody's not the same. Some people are audio people, some people are visual people, and so we've got to understand the characteristics of the folks that you're pitching the opportunity to, and make sure you accommodate them properly. And then sometimes you have to throw, in baseball, you got to throw a fastball. Sometimes you got to be a slow ball. Sometimes you're going to throw around a curve ball, and sometimes you simply need to walk some people. We'll talk about that. Some people just need to walk. That's the big list. That's the big list. They just need to walk. They just need to walk. But let's talk about this. Rodney, let's talk about the windup, So the windup is really what you're going to lead with. You got to figure out what you're going to lead with. Are you going to lead with the opportunity, or are you going to lead with the product? Talk about that, Rodney. What do you do when you actually are looking at a process? You talked about it a little bit, but it's not always that you're leading with the same pitch. Sometimes you're leading with the opportunity, and sometimes you're leading with the the product.
Well, Floyd, here's the thing. I lead. It depends on the individual I'm talking to.
Yes.
If I'm talking to an individual that they're a go-getter, they seem as though that they're into working for themselves. I ask them, hey, what do you do for a living? If they say I'm a real estate agent or a person that worked in a commission job, and I ask them a lot of questions, Floyd. I try to get to know that individual. And guess what? I may lead with the opportunity. But I got a person, a perfect example. I was talking to a guy the other day, right? This is interesting. And he said, what do you do? I said, well, I'm in the home-based business. He said, please tell me it's not network marketing, I said, why do you say that? He said, man, I'm so sick and tired of network marketing. I said, have you ever tried it before? And don't plan on trying it whatsoever. Guess what? I know that I'm not going to lead with the opportunity. You're right, because you already told me you have no interest in it, right? I said, well, it's just right here. Do you work out? He said, oh yeah, I work out. I said, man, so what type of supplements do you take? He said, oh man, what I don't take, man. I said, why do you take them? He said, man, because I want the energy. I get results when I get it. I need the energy, man, because I be sore sometimes. I said, great. Guess what, Floyd? I know I can lead with the opportunity then. I can lead with the product then. Why? Because this person have identified himself that he's a person who loves taking supplements. But if a person told me, Floyd, he don't take supplements, he don't go to the gym, he don't plan on working out, he don't believe in the industry, all he do is drink water and fried chicken. Guess what, Floyd? I have no need to talk to him about anything.
That's right.
I'm gonna put him on my D list as quick as possible. Okay, so Floyd, it depends on that individual, but the only way that we would know, we have to ask questions.
We have to ask questions, man. So you know what? Sometimes, Rodney, I'm like you. I lead with the opportunity. Some people don't assume that people just want to take the product when they might be people who just are looking for opportunity. Sometimes you got to think in terms of there are a lot of folks out there who are looking for extra income. So sometimes I just leave with the opportunity right now. I might say, hey, I might text someone and say, hey, do you think we can make some money with this? Look at the video, and I'll call you back. I'll call you later. Guys, you don't have to have a whole 2-page rendition of your of your pitch. It needs to be just a simple wind up, guys. A simple. You ever seen a pitcher wind up for an hour running, just going round and round and round? That's a waste of time. Just one wind up and throw the pitch. No, I'm funding my retirement with this. Look at this video. That's a video. That's a text that I send, Rodney. I'm funding my retirement with this. Look at the video. Sometimes I'll leave with the product. I'll say, do you know anyone with high blood pressure, joint pain, or health concerns? Take a look at this video. Or have you tried this yet? I did and I feel great. Look at the video. See, it's just one-liners, Rodney. It's not a whole paragraph.
Hey, you know something? I like that flow. And what I normally do is I love doing this right here. I will call somebody. Hey, man, this is Rod. Man, I don't have much time, but I said, I'm calling from my home here in Texas today. But I got a question I got to ask you. My understanding that you've been in the home-based business before. How did it go for you? They'll tell me how it went for me. Man, Rod, I didn't have much success at all. I said, well, man, I came across something, but I don't really have time to give you a long, drawn up, be in your ear, or give you a presentation. I said, but I got a simple question for you. Mm-hmm. If I can share with you a winning opportunity, are you willing to investigate it? If they tell me yes, guess what? I'm going to send you some information. And I tell them, hey, by the way, if you say yes, I put this the hook. If you say yes, I'm going to send you some information, right? And if you like what you see, I'm going to send you some samples. Mm-hmm. I said, but either way, maybe you can lead them to someone who wishes to try this amazing product, this opportunity. So again, I asked the question, and Flo noticed something here. It's never more than 30 minutes. And this is something I always notice, right? And this is what I noticed with a lot of team members. When the person says, what is it? Guess what? They forget about the tool. They're trying to do all of the talking now. That's the problem. My presentation never lasts more than 30 to 45 seconds.
That's right. I love it, guys. And so now we get ready to throw this pitch, guys. We understand that it can be a pitch that's an opportunity pitch, or it can be a product pitch. But don't try to make a product person an opportunity person. Don't try to make an opportunity person a product person.
We got a logo now. We have a slogan in our team right now. Don't make a good customer a bad distributor.
I love it.
And we do that all the time. We'll force a person to become a distributor, and we get mad at them because they're not doing anything. Mm-hmm. You knew before they got started they would be a bad distributor because they told you, I don't know no one, I don't like talking to no one, I just like to look at television all the time. And make them a customer. Yeah. Keep them healthy while they sit on the television watching television.
Absolutely, guys. And so let's throw this pitch. Sometimes, guys, you have to throw a slow ball. Now, what's a slow ball? A slow ball is for analytical people, guys. Those people who like to think and they analyze until they paralyze. A slow ball. So you need to slow down. You need to send them as much documentation as they need, guys. These analytical people, they need to see documentation. Send it to them as quick as possible. But send them as much as they need. But keep it simple, guys. Videos, print brochures, product call. Set up the 3-way, but tell them to email you their questions. Now, this is important because you got to remember, this person is an analytical person. They're going to be thinking of everything in the sun. They could be on the call for hours if you don't direct them and taper that down to just a few questions before you do the 3-way. Rodney?
I got to say something about that, Flo, but I love analytical people, though.
Yes.
Why? Yes, because here's the thing, when they dive in and start doing their research, see, if they ask me questions, I say, I got one. Because when they start diving in and looking and discovering and trying to prove something wrong, guess what? I got them every single time. Yes. Why? Because if you got a product that has science behind it,
oh man, yes.
Right? You got a person who's who in the medical world or the science world.
Yes.
That's a done deal.
Yes.
And every time I had a person, Flo, the analytical person with a slow ball, man, guess what, Flo? They went to work.
Right.
Because and guess what? It's hard to shake them out of the business now.
Yes.
Because they have proof that what they've been looking for.
Documentation, guys, is what they're looking for. Analytical people are looking for documentation. Don't be talking about so much of the money and all that. Show them the documentation, because in their mind, Rodney, documentation, you heard it before. Documentation beats conversation. And guys, then sometimes you got to throw that fastball, man. That fastball is something that you got to have in your arsenal. That fastball, Rodney, is for directors. Those guys who are money motivated. Guys, cut to the chase with a director. A director don't want to hear a whole lot of rah-rah. They don't want to hear a whole lot of pomp and circumstances. They want to hear the facts. Make the pitch quick, powerful, and to the point. Show them the video with just the facts and just the money, because directors are money motivated. quickly get them on that three-way phone call with the most successful person, Rodney, that you know. Because remember, directors, they want to be impressed by people who are the best, who are documented, who are making the money. Get them on the phone with the person who has the most success that you can find financially. Because guys, with the director, it's all about the money.
Right? The director, they want to know who's the leaders.
Yes.
That's when you want to get them on the phone with the heavy hitter. That's why the three-way is important to them, because if you're weak and slow, guess what? You'll lose them.
That's right.
So you want to get them on the three-way quick as possible, because they're like, hey, move out of the way. Who's making the money in the company? How many people in the company? Those are the questions they ask. How many people in the company? Yeah. They don't care about the science at all. No. Right? They want to see the compensation plan.
Yeah.
Right? So you got to understand who you have. Who do you throw the fastball to? If you try to throw it to the analytical person, you got problems.
You got problems.
They say, because they're going to say, you're a pushy.
That's right.
I don't like you.
That's right.
Let me do my homework first.
You're too slick.
Exactly.
You're trying to pull something over me because you're not giving me the documentation. You're just trying to slam me in. Guys, so understand, fastball is for directors, guys who just say, look, show me the money. And guys, don't waste time trying to talk about, who it healed and what it did for people. They don't want to hear it, Ronnie. They don't want to hear it. Directors want to know about the money. And then, guys, sometimes you got to throw a change up. You've heard about that in the baseball vernacular for socializers. Just keep it fun. They won't change, guys. They don't like to get bored, Ronnie. These people want to have fun. They want to create a fun culture and keep it fresh. They get bored with the mundane socializers. Talk about the fun you're having, the trips and events you've been on when you got involved in the business and you made some money. A great product won't be enough to keep them motivated, excited, Ronnie. They need to have what? Fun.
That's why, Floyd, the get-together is important.
Yes.
We talk about it a lot of times. We understand that the event doesn't begin until the event is over.
Yes.
They don't exactly. They don't want to go out and hang out with you, have dinner with you. They want to get to know you. They want to talk with you. They want to give you a call and you got to cheer them on. Because you got to have that with those individuals, and you need those individuals in the group, because we call them they keep the party going.
Yeah, the socializers.
The socializers.
Yeah, keep it fun. They're the glue that keeps everybody together. You know what? These socializers are folks who create the culture, Rodney. And people like culture. They like being around people with like minds. They like being around with people that change the environment. Every now and then they want to go on trips. They want to have some parties. Guys, you got to make sure you got to keep it fun for a socializer. Okay?
But this is interesting, Floyd. Can you imagine having a team full of socializers?
Oh my God!
You don't get nothing done. Can you imagine having a team full of analytical? You don't get nothing done. All of them in the library doing researches and pulling reports and running samples of the product. So you got to have a mixture of all of them.
It's a mixture of all of them. And then, guys, sometimes you have to throw that softball, guys. That's that relator, guys. You got to be kind. You got to be gentle with the relators, because they want to make a difference in the world, right? They want to make sure that everybody is healthy. They want to help people. They want to avoid conflict. Can't we just all get along?
Happy.
Can't just be happy?
Yeah. So hey, something. My customer's upset, and I said, don't worry. I'm going to send you all the money for the product.
Yes.
I love you. Yes. But we have people like that.
We have.
Guess what? You need them.
Yes.
They make great nurses. They make great Sunday school teachers.
They
right?
do.
And we need them in the organization. Again, you need all of them. But guess what? If you got too many of them in your organization, guess what? You can run into problems all over again. So you want to have a balance of them all together.
Right. These are the peacemakers, guys. These are people who kept with conflict resolution.
Yeah. I love them.
You got issues in your organization. You want to get the relators together, and they will make peace with everyone, and they will make people feel good, warm and fuzzy.
Always, yes.
Yes. Now you got to be careful. Ronnie says we want to have an organization of all relators, because sometimes relators get abused. They get stepped on because they don't always like to say what they need to say. A director will say straight exactly what he needs to say, or she needs to say when they need to say it. But a relator will let things fester and sort of get upset and never tell you, and that's not good for organizations as well.
Floyd, I've noticed that we had a person like that in the organization, right? And the person was in the organization. They said, and they were dealing with a director, right?
Yes.
And they said, yeah, I talked to so and so yesterday, and I think he may be coming in the business. And then the director said, no, that's my person. Oh, no problem. You can have him. They just literally took the person from them. I said, why did you do that? Oh, no, I don't want no problems at all. Yes. But sooner or later, that relator said, I'm going to quit. They don't tell you they're going to quit. Yes. So sometimes you have to talk with them and get them to open up, find out what's going on.
You got to get them to open up to give you their true feelings and emotions, because guys, they'll be a doormat for so long, and then they just won't be able to take it anymore. So you got to understand when you talk to a relator, we're talking about prospects, guys. And so when you get out there and you actually start pitching and talking to people, you're going to have people who are relators, Rodney, and socializers and analyzers and directors. And guys, sometimes you got to throw a curveball. Now these are these indecisive people who don't swing at your pitch quickly. They didn't say yes and they didn't say no. They simply stopped responding to your text or email. We got a lot of people like that, Rodney. What you want to do, guys, is come back to them later. Keep it moving. So you can't keep chasing those people because they're indecisive. Just keep it moving. Drip on them with emails or text messages when you advance, say, to another rank, or you get another rank advancement bonus. Send them a text. Say, look, I hit another rank, and I just want to keep you informed. Life has a way, Rodney, of making people who don't seem to be available now turn to candidates in the future. You agree?
Absolutely. Some Florida, those individuals, indecisive people, they drive me crazy. They drive me crazy. But guess what? We still need them.
Yes, we do.
We still need them. But man, one thing about them though, Florida, when they do make a decision, they do stick with it though. It's tough for them to make a decision. You have to literally pull them in. You have to get them to understand exactly what you have. So I love them, but I don't have many of them in the organization because I'm not impatient, because I know who I am.
Yes.
Right. So if I know who I am, I got to be careful who I sponsor.
That's a good point, Rodney. We got to know what our profile in this whole scenario of directors, socializers, analyzers, and relators. You got to know your characteristics and your personality type, and why people rub you the wrong way. Sometimes we just working with people opposite us. A director and an analyzer do not get along. So we got to make sure that you understand why you're opposed to certain people.
But what is interesting about this also, Floyd, if you take each one of them, the analytical, the director, all of them, if you take all of them, guess what you'll notice? They lead in a different way.
Yes,
right. They lead in a different way. If you get a relator want to lead with the product. They don't lead with opportunity at all. But your director, guess what? They want to come straight with the product.
Yes.
So everyone needs that balance that you.
Very good. And sometimes, Rodney, you just have to walk some people. Sometimes you have to walk. Negative people need to be walked. Don't waste time with negative people, guys.
But they'll join your business, though.
Oh yeah. Don't waste time with those folks. Don't waste time, guys. Don't waste time with cynical people. Critical people. Let them walk as fast as possible. You agree, right?
Oh my goodness, man, Floyd, because they would drain you.
Yeah,
they would drain you. They'll join the business to pull you out the business.
Yes,
I'm going to join you.
Yes.
I'm going to join you with you. But I tell you what, I ain't getting no calls. I ain't doing no auto ship. They telling you I'm going to be a complete failure.
Yes.
Bottom line.
Yes.
And guess what? Then they're going to blame you when they're a failure.
Yeah.
And we see it all of the time. But so you want to be careful with them. You want to walk them. Don't be so greedy in order for that fast hot bonus.
Yes.
Just let them walk.
Yes.
And even if you bring them aboard, but let me tell you this, Floyd. This is interesting here. I had one, right? Because I wanted to hit that bonus, and I know, and I shouldn't have been dealing with that negative person. They should have stayed on the D list, right? But I brought them into the business floor, and I called them and said, something, this is not going to work. You come over here, and I'm going to pay you your money back. Right? I said, because something, this is not going to work out at all. And guess what? They were negative. They said, you ain't paying me nothing back. You ain't going to get rid of me. So we got to be careful when we put in our business.
That's right.
Let them walk.
Let them walk. And guys, let's talk about getting those people. You got to get analyzers right. And you're going to have socializers. You're going to have directors. You're going to have relators. All these folks are going to be people that you're going to be talking to, and you gotta identify their profile type. So remember these characteristics, guys. And so now we get ready to throw that pitch to all these different types of people, Rodney. And so we gotta be understandable and understand that people respond in different ways because of their personality types, folks. And so now we're going to throw that pitch, and we're going to get that person on first base. Now, when your prospects have looked at the company video, the product video, or hear an opportunity call, guess what? They are on first base. Not before, but after they've looked at the video or the opportunity call or anything that is a third-party piece of documentation. We're not convincing folks ladies and gentlemen. We're sorting by taking people around the bases. And as I said, the people that you're taking around the bases have different personality types. You have to identify if you're working with a socializer. You got to identify if you're sending a video to a director. You got to identify if you're sending a video to a relator, because you can almost predict how they're going to respond, Rodney, if you know their personality types. And we got to get them on first base. All of them get on first base the same way, though, through looking at the third-party validation. Would you not agree?
Absolutely. In Florida, it's amazing that people would want to do a three-way without ever getting a person on first base.
Wow.
And they wonder why they felt it's the most simplest thing. The first step of building your business is getting them on first base, because you want to see what type of person you have.
Yes, right.
It's like if I came to you, right, and if I didn't say anything, you don't know who I am.
Right.
You don't know how I feel about the product. You don't know how I feel about you.
Yes.
So guess what? You need me to communicate with me. And you know what I love about it also, Floyd? It let me know they're coachable. Can I work with them?
Yes.
And I had a person, Floyd, that we wanted to look at I had a person, they wanted him to look at the video. And when he called, he didn't look at the video. I said, did you watch the video? He said, no, I didn't watch. I don't need to watch no video. Mm-hmm. You tell me. Floyd, I can't do a great job as that the company put the presentation together, 8-minute presentation together.
Yeah.
They paid millions to put that presentation together. So Floyd, it's important for them to be educated first.
Yes.
Right? Because here's what. It let them know that you can do the same thing I do.
Right.
You don't have to try to do the full presentation up front.
Yeah. And so, guys, I hope you're getting this a whole concept of how you run the bases with different people. If you've been pitching to analyzers, Rodney, and you're not giving them documentation, and they're not having enough documentation, that's why they're not signing up.
That's true.
If you're talking to people who are directors, and you're talking about, hey, I want you to know that all the people that this product has helped and how people are feeling better, they're not hearing that because they are directors.
That's right.
They want to know about the money, guys. That's why you're striking out. That's why you're striking out.
You ever heard that commercial? Where's the beef? Where's the beef? Where's the conversation plan?
Exactly.
Where's the conversation plan? They will keep saying that. Let me tell you what the product. And then you know what's crazy about it? Then those individuals tell a director, I don't care about the money.
That's right.
I just want to help people. That's what directors say. I'm not joining you. That's what they say on there.
That's what they
You're a nut.
That's right. That's right. They can't relate. Relators saying they don't care about the money, and the director saying you must be crazy. Right? Now we've got first base, guys. You get people on first base when you throw the pitch, video, sizzle call, opportunity call, or anything that's documentation that not from your voice. They're on first base. And now let's talk about who's on second. How do you get a person to second? Guys, this is what made me the most money in my career, Rodney. I think you would agree. The three-way phone call. Guys, the three-way phone call will make you money. Setting up the three-way phone call is really important. Now, the power of a potent three-way phone call is setting it up proper. Rodney, setting a three-way phone call up the right way. And guys, I would tell you to set a goal on three-way phone calls. Set a goal to do at least 2 to 3 three-way phone calls per day when you first started off. 2 to 3 three-way phone calls per day your first 30 days. Okay. Now, guys, if you do 2 calls per day times 6 days, guys, that's a pretty nice amount of calls. 2 calls times 6 days is about 12 calls per week. And guys, this is a recipe of incredible momentum and fast growth. So I want you to set an appointment for three-way phone calls with your sponsor or expert. That's what you want to do. So talk about that. Tell them that you want to do a phone call. Tell them a little bit about the person. And then what you want to do is get your expert on the line first. When you do a three-way phone call, you want to make sure that you set up the appointment with your upline or your expert, and you want to provide information about your prospect, be it a customer or it's an opportunity for someone to be in the business. Ask them if what their interests are, and if they're interested in the product or the opportunity. Guess what, guys? The magic is in the details. What might their why be? Ask them if they are concerned about their health. They're concerned about family or extra income, right? That's the preparation is what we talk about. The preliminary work is really important as you get ready to prepare to talk to this prospect. Setting it up right is important. Would you not agree?
No, it's very important, Floyd. When you do that, it let them know that you're not alone. That someone's going to help you out. Mm-hmm. I remember my father many years ago. You probably remember this right here. Mm-hmm. And you said, Rodney, the reason why you're not been successful in the business, you're not doing 3 ways whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, Floyd, man, the 3 ways don't work. Man, come on. And he said, Rodney, it works. I said, tell you what, let's call my dad. And I remember calling my dad to do the three-way. And I would tell him, hey, Dad, I got this guy on the phone by the name of Mr. Williams. And he made some serious income in the industry. He knew how to make money. He knew how to build a team. And my father said, well, get off the phone, boy, and put him on the phone. And I said, oh, okay. And I did, of course, I three-wayed him into you, Floyd, and it was kind of interesting. You asked him about coming to a presentation, an opportunity presentation. And my father said he was coming. And I said, Floyd, my dad not coming down here to Atlanta from Florida. He said, well, unless your father's a liar. And I said, I don't think he is. I said, no, my father's not a liar, but he's not coming. But my father showed up and he signed up in the business. And I was blown away with that. And that was the aha moment for me. But why? Because I realized then that my father realized the mistakes I used to make, the discipline, the punishment he used to give me, right? You know, and the bad decision I would make and the times I came to borrow money from him. But now, right, I was out of the equation. It was a professional. My father didn't know you at all, right? And he listened to you. Ever since then, Floyd, ever since then, I was doing three-ways. And guess what? I was converting people over to leaders or distributors or reps, whatever. Why? Because of three-ways. I removed myself from the element. And also, they realized that they can do it also. And think about this, Floyd. Sometimes when I don't do a three-way, what happened, people will say, oh, now he's a doctor, right? Yesterday he was asking for money, but now he's a business whiz, you know? But guess what? They don't know you. They don't know Angela. They don't know the other leaders.
Yes.
So that's why the three-way is so important, Floyd.
That's right. And a lot of people say, well, I've been in 5 or 6 different companies and I don't have any credibility. Well, you know, if you do a three-way, you can take all the pressure off of you and put it on the person who actually is doing the three-way with you, guys. So it doesn't really matter how many companies you've been in, how many opportunities you offer that individual. And so, guys, we're talking about setting up the three-way. And guys, when you get all that done and you're ready to go, you want to call your prospect back after you make sure they watch the video. So we want to make sure that everything goes right. And we want to understand that, make sure that this is a process that is going to work for you. So you want to call your prospect back and you want to make sure they watch the video. And that three-way phone call can't be done until you know that your prospect has seen that video. And it works like this. You want to call them up. You want to say, hi, John, this is Floyd. I'm just following up with you to see if you had the chance to look at the video that I sent you. If they say yes, you say, fantastic. Well, I was on the phone talking to Angela, my friend who shared the product with me, and she wanted to say hello to you as well. She's on the line, and do you have 5 minutes? Now, Rodney, this is really where the big boys, really trump most people, because look, what I just did, guys, is I circumvented a lot of the steps. What I did was I called my sponsor. Let's say my sponsor is Angela, and I told Angela a little bit about the prospect, and we shared the information, and she gave me all the things and the why that person might have to look at this business. And then I said, look, Angela, I'm going to click over right now and dial my prospect. Okay. Now some of you are just kind of afraid to do that, but look how we did it. We did it that was very unobtrusive and very natural. We clicked over and we said, hi, John. This is Floyd. I'm just following up to see if you watched the video. Now, if John says no, then I'm not going to introduce Angela. If he says yes, I'm going to say, well, great. Well, John, I was on the phone talking to Angela. And guess what, guys? I was on the phone talking to Angela. And that was my friend who shared the product with me. And she just wanted to say hello. I didn't say she wanted to sell something. I didn't say she wanted you to be in the business. I said she wanted to say hello. That's non-threatening, Rodney. That's not intrusive. True. And I said, she's on the line. Do you have a minute? Now, if they don't want to talk, guys, they will say no. They will say no. So, guys, this is where we get out of our comfort zone and get into the money zone, because this is what people do who actually are, who move the process along faster than most. Rodney, would you agree?
Absolutely, absolutely. We have to just move ourselves out of the way, Florida, in order to get to the next level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now when you talk about the three-way phone call, guys, let's talk about the three-way phone call. You set it up and you call and you talk to your prospect. Once the prospect says yes, I have 5 minutes. You say, well, hi, John. I know your time is very valuable, so you actually introduce your expert to your prospect. And guys, what we want to do is we want to edify. We want to make sure that we edify your expert and say all the things that we need to say about their success in the business, their character. They like to have fun. They like helping other people. And then you want to introduce John, your prospect, to Angela, the expert. And guys, once you do that, once you edify your expert, that's all you need to do. You don't need to say anything else. You want to let the expert do all the talking. Now, if they make a mistake, guys, don't try to correct your expert, because guess what? You have de-edified the expert. And so here's what the conversation is going to sound like when you let the expert do the talking once you you introduce the expert and edify the expert, and you just sit back and you watch things happen. It's going to be like this. It's going to be like, "Hi, John. Your time is very valuable, so I will be brief." That's what the expert is going to say. And they're going to say, same thing you asked when you first call your prospect to make sure they watch the video. They're going to say, "John, did you watch the video?" And then they're going to say, "What did you like best about what you heard?" And then the expert is going to wait to hear what they say, and they're going to actually respond to what they said. Now, guys, if they say they like the money, don't start talking about the product and how it's helped so many people over in Africa. No, start talking. If they start talking about the product, then the expert is going to talk about the product. If they talk about the money, the expert is going to talk about the money. And so they're going to go ahead and have that conversation. Then they're going to say, "Where do you see where do you see an opportunity, John? Do you see it as a customer or do you see it as a business partner?" And whatever they say, that's what the expert is going to go with. They say a customer, then we're going to talk about being a customer. If they say a business partner, we're going to talk about being a business partner. As you said, Rodney, don't try to make a customer a bad business partner, right? Just let the person do what they want to do, and then they'll say, "Great, let's get you started," Rodney.
Absolutely, Floyd. You know, that's one thing we have to constantly remind our team over and over again. Let a good customer remain a good customer. Don't make them a bad distributor. And you know who they are because they identify themselves. They tell you why they just want to be a customer. They tell you why they want to make money. You know, when the worst thing you want to do also, Floyd, when they tell you that they want to be a customer and you keep talking about the money, you got problems. If they tell you they want to make money, you keep talking about the product and you want to change life, guess what? You lost them again. You got to meet them eyeball to eyeball. You know, you got to talk on their level. That's the most important thing if you're going to grow a large organization. That's very important.
Right. And guys, if you know anything about baseball, you watch baseball, sometimes you can find a person who gets on second who can steal third and go all the way home, Rodney. They might not have to go to third because here's the thing. I've had people, Rodney, you've had people who actually got exposed to the opportunity through third party validation, looked at the video, got on the phone with the prospect, with the expert, did a 3-way phone call, and said, "Look, I'm ready to go." Guys, if they're ready to go, don't say, wait. You're on second. We got to get you to third. No, guys, if they're on second, they're ready to go. Sign them up. Guys, so it's not always that they have to go to third. They might steal home. But let's say this, guys. Let's say they watched the video. They've done a 3-way, and they still not ready. They want to see something else. Well, what do you do now, guys? We go to third base. Who's on third? The people who are sampling the product are on third. If you got people who are sampling the product, guys, and we got a great product, they are actually on third base. Sampling the product will make you what? Money, guys. Sampling the product will make you money. So what we want to do is, guys, we want to make sure that we sample the product. When you have people sampling the product, they're on third base. Remember, we've gone from first base, we've gone to second, and now we're on third base. And so we want to sample the product. Well, we can do that several ways. We can actually sample the product with Evie. We can actually have Evie do, the heavy lifting and send out samples. Or we can have one-on-ones. Now, right now, I love one-on-ones. I like sitting down with a restaurant and sitting down with someone, looking them in the eye and actually giving them a sample, let them taste it right there with a glass of water. Hey, guys, we got it done. See, it's all about speed and velocity. It's all about a sense of urgency. I love home meetings, guys. You can have a home meeting. You can have some friends at your house and circle with them. Guys, I made a ton of money with home meetings, Rodney. You remember when we had home meetings all around the city, and we did home meetings in different parts of the country. Those make money as well, and you can sample the product there. Team business overviews, we call them TBOs. This is where the team gets together and they have a place where they meet and they invite guests and prospects to come to see the presentation and sample the product. And then, guys, 3-foot rule. Anybody that I see 3 feet in front of me who I think are approachable, they have a great personality, I'm going to always have my samples to give them samples, right?
Absolutely. Guys, I want you to understand that 3-foot rule. That's very important to understand. It doesn't mean when you see people, you just start slinging product out to them, throwing it in their pocket. You don't do that. And you have people that do that.
Right.
I had a guy Florida. They say, "Hey, Miss Steps, I purchased a $350 product and I'm out of product. I haven't sponsored one person." Matter of fact, Angela was telling me about a person, Florida. We had bought spent thousands of dollars, had to sponsor one person and have one customer whatsoever.
Wow.
Why, Florida? Because it was a drive-by sling shot. He was just throwing product to everyone that he was running into without putting them through the first step, first base, second base, third base.
Wow.
It's important. So that third base, here's the perfect example of the 3-foot rule, Florida. you were telling me that you were somewhere, right? I believe in New York City.
Yes.
Right? And you heard a guy talking about what? Yoga?
Yeah.
What happened? What happened with that?
Yeah, we were sitting there having our dinner, my wife and I and my daughter, and we saw, we overheard someone next to the in the booth next to us having a meeting with a friend, and he was talking about how he had just got into yoga. He was a baby boomer, and he was now taking his health serious, Rodney. His wife had introduced him to it, and he was feeling great, and he's trying to do more and more things to help himself become healthier, eating right and doing the things. Well, he had the right attitude about health, right? He had the right conversation. And so I was ordering my food, and then he asked me if I had enough space. See, here's the thing. He asked me if I had enough room to sit down. And see, when a person is nice enough to initiate a conversation, number one, he was health conscious. Number two, he was approachable, right?
Yes.
And so he asked me a question, gave me an invitation to ask him a question. And so I asked him, hey, how long have you been doing yoga? See, guys, that's what we call a segue, a perfect segue. I didn't just run over there and throw a hydro upside his head, right? There was an opportunity, and guys, sometimes you have opportunities where you can actually have a segue where you actually can introduce your product in a very smooth, non-threatening way.
Hey, Floyd, I had a guy, this is funny right here. And a guy said, man, you know something, I don't buy that 3-foot rule stuff. I said, well, I'm nice here, man. The guy, I was at a restaurant, and they put water on the table, and I walked up to him, I said, hey, don't drink that water, I got something better for you. He opened up a pack of Hydro and poured it in his water. I said, what happened? You know, but he said, Rob, I knew the guy. I went to school with the guy in high school. I said, but how did the guy feel about it? He looked like he wanted to fight about it, you know?
That's not untrue.
So we got to understand what a real 3-foot rule is.
Yes.
I'm glad you explained that, because we want people not to go out there slinging product to everybody they meet. I'll put Hydro in people's water and they get ready to drink it.
Well, no. It's you gotta look for the right time and the right segue, guys. And so let's bring them home, guys. We've gone to first base, second base, and third base. One thing I have never seen in my years of playing baseball, Rodney, or watching baseball, you said it. I've never seen anyone go up to the batter's box and hit the ball and go straight to third base. You got to go to first. You got to go to second, and then you got to go to third, and then you go home, guys. And it's a process. See, this is a process. It's a steps of exposure, guys. And this is a good way for you to understand and make sure that you're taking people through the step exposure without skipping steps. First, second, third, and then home. Guys, let's bring them home. Guys, what does that mean? That means that we're coming to the home stretch. They've looked at something. They've been on the three-way. They sampled the product, guys, and they're coming home. And guess what? When they come home, they can be a yes, Rodney, or they can be a no. See, we're not emotional about what they say to us once we've done our part. Our part is to do what? Expose people,
Absolutely.
take them through the bases, and let them come home. We don't have control of the yes, and we don't have control of the no. Guys, the numbers will walk you into success. If you get enough swings, as you said, Rodney, we said, if you get enough swings, you're going to get some what? You're going to get some hits.
That's right.
You know, again, Hank Aaron said, look, if I swing 10 times and I get 3 hits, I'm successful. Okay, so sign them up immediately when they say yes. Guys, we can do that various ways. We can do a paper app. We can send them straight to their computer and walk them through the sign-up process. Notice I said walk them through the process, guys. Rodney, what I never do is say, hey, here's my website. Hey, good luck, buddy. See if you can get signed up. It's a process, guys. You send them to your website, and you get to your computer, and you walk them through the process. That way you know that transaction is complete. No more talking, guys. No more talking. When they say yes, it's time to sign them up. A no just means not right now. And then, guys, if you get a no, the least that you want to do is ask for what? A referral.
Absolutely. And Floyd, you said something that key there. One thing that people make a big mistake doing, they just send the customer straight to the website and tell them to sign up themselves. You can't do that, because maybe that person is not savvy enough to move through the system that we have set up in place. So you want to walk them through the steps. You want to let them know that it's as easy as possible, seamless as possible.
Yes.
Getting started in the business. And if you don't have time to do it, what you do then, Floyd, take an application, fill out the application. I have a good buddy, James Roberts, our partner, late partner. that passed. James Roberts, he always had application on him. James said that when he go to sleep, he have an application on him. I said, James, what you mean you have an application on you when you go to sleep? He said, I dreamed last night I met Bill Gates, but if I meet him tonight, I'm going to sign him up. Because anything can happen.
Yes.
The worst thing for the person can do, right? They're trying to sign a person up and they can't get the person into the system because maybe the computer is having a problem.
Yes.
And they start complaining with the customer. I don't know what's wrong with this system.
Yes.
Guess what, Flo? I whip out an application so fast. Say, hey, well, no problem. I'm working on this end right here. We'll get you started, but let's get your information. How do you want your name on your website?
Yeah.
Right? What is your telephone number that you want them to text you to? I get all of the information and I put them in, and your website be ready for you first thing in the morning.
I love it.
But I never let them know that the company is having problems.
Yes.
Why? Because you would deter them from the business right away.
That's what I was going to say. You never want to give your customer, your prospect, a chance to have buyer's remorse, Rodney.
Yeah.
Anything could just have them back up, guys. When you got the yes, go ahead and app them up as expeditiously as possible and as quick as possible with no challenges and no encumbrances, right? And so, guys, lastly, we really need to remember the mantra of the company FISH. FISH is the key, guys. FISH is the acronym that stands for financial freedom. We want to provide financial freedom for folks, guys. We want to have people with integrity. We want to involve our members and our community with a sense of service. We believe that if we give, we will get. And we want to empower members with continually providing a source of hope, guys. That's what FISH means. And guys, when we talk about running the bases and talking about the people who are different character types, we want to get people who are quality. Rodney, quality will get you quantity. Quality, when I talk about the success that I've had to people and you have had, we understand we get hundreds of people to find 10 people who are going to work. We get thousands of people to find 100 people who are going to have quality and have integrity. We're going to build a team of thousands and tens of thousands. Guys, it's not about the thousands of people. It's about the core team of folks that you're going to have who have quality. And with the quality, guess what you're going to get, guys? You're going to get quantity, right?
Absolutely, Floyd. And here's the thing about this is when we talk about that A, B, C, D list, right? And if I'm dealing the D list, guess what? I may have to talk to 500 people to get 2 people. That's right. Right, so but guess what? If I'm talking to an A-list person, guess what?
Wow,
I can talk to 10 and get 5 or 7.
Yes.
So that's what we want people to understand. So if you one of those individuals, guess what? Everyone is telling me no. You're dealing with the wrong list. Are you talking to the wrong people? But the only way you understand how to do this, you have to practice and get on the training calls because we're going to share with you what to do. Talk to your upline. Do the 3-way. Troubleshoot. What are you doing wrong? Are you doing your 3-way? Right? Are you using the tools? Are you trying to be the tools?
Yes.
And every time, Florida, I'm talking to someone about growing their business, and they say, "Hey, Rod, I'm having problems." Guess what? I can tell you they're not doing 3-ways. I said, "What tools did you let them use?" Well, I told them what the product can do for them, or I just gave them a sample. Guess what? I know they're not going to have success in this business because they're not following the system that's been laid in place for them. If they follow the system, Floyd, guess what? It's guaranteed to give them some level of success in this business.
That's awesome, Rodney. That's awesome. So, guys, we have been, working running the basis system for years and years. Rodney and I have built teams of thousands of folks, and guys, we hope that you would take this information and use it. But you know what? It's powerful if you will take this information and you will listen to it over and over and over again because spaced repetition is the mother of learning. And the more you listen to it, the more that you get this concept into you. Guys, that'll be great. You'll make a lot of money. But I'm telling you what will really make you a fortune is when you get involved in this business and you actually start running the bases yourself, but you teach others how to run the bases. You duplicate this knowledge and information to others. And when you do that, guys, your team will grow from hundreds to thousands, from thousands to tens of thousands, and possibly over time from tens of thousands to 100,000. Rodney, it's been great sitting with you, running the bases again. We're looking forward to having massive success, and we hope that everyone who listened to this CD has the same type of success that we've had in the past using the running the bases concept.
Outstanding, Florida. Hey, Florida, it was a pleasure sitting down with you here again in your home here in Duluth, man. And it was really great that we were able to get this to the team so they can really take this tool and utilize it and learn how to and develop their skills to becoming what we call those heavy hitters. Because we know heavy hitters are not born, Floyd. They didn't wake up, come out the mother womb, say, now this is a heavy hitter right here. That didn't happen, right? It was those individuals went through the same bumps and grinds and the holes in the road just like we did. And you know what happened? We stayed the course. And guys, and I can tell you this right here: if you stay the course, I promise you, you have unbelievable success. Don't let anyone take you off the path of success.
You guys go ahead and run the bases, and we'll see you at home. Have a great day. Bye-bye for now.